Good evening, interns.
Evening, sir.
Okay, so the remaining interns who have not submitted their work, after today, I will not accept the work of any of the intern. Today is the final date to submit the information gathering task, both passive and active. The people who have not submitted, I will not accept any of their tasks after today. Clear? Okay, so let's begin. Today again we will be talking a little bit more about ANMAP. We will be doing vulnerability analysis and enumeration. Okay. So as I said, that ANMAP is a very vast tool, right? It has so many things in it, and you'll have to master that particular tool. So we will be looking at it a little bit more. Yesterday we had VPNs and firewalls. I hope it is clear to everyone. So just give me a second. Okay, so let's start. Uh, Let me share my screen. Is the screen visible to all of you? Visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I have my Metasploitable up and running, and I have my Kali Linux as well. So firstly, I will be telling you what is enumeration. Okay. See, enumeration is gathering a more detailed intelligence or gathering more detailed information on your target. Yeah. So there are two tools. The most popular tool is enum for Linux, but we will be jumping it on, I think, or later or maybe tomorrow, depends upon the schedule. Okay, but today we will be talking a little bit more about the Nmap. Okay, so let me take you to a folder, share Nmap, and script. See, I showed you that there are these many scripts, okay, in this Nmap, right? So we will be using a little bit of these scripts, and then we will be talking about what these scripts do, okay? So I'll get out over here. Now, the very first script we will be using is auth script, okay? AUTH. I think it is there somewhere. Uh, yes, this is the auth script, right? What auth script does is auth script actually dig the whole target, and it finds out that whether it is having any login credentials or not. Okay, so nmap script, and the script will be auth and then the IP address 192.168.0.28. Okay, and if I do enter, let's wait because this script will take time to run, and let's see what it gives to us. So if you master Nmap, then most of your hacking will become very easy to do. Okay, see, hacking a system is very easy, right? But you just need to know the proper method. Okay, let's analyze the results. See, on port 21, it is saying that an FTP ANN, that means anonymous login is allowed. Clear? We'll see to it what it is. Then if we come to SSH part, it is saying that there are two supported authentication method. One is the public key and the password. Okay. If I come more downward, see, there is a MySQL service running, which is having three users: Debian system main, guest, and root. And it is saying that root account has empty password. Clear? If I come more down, see, on port 8180, the service is unknown, but what it gave me was that Apache Tomcat server is running on this. Clear? And it is Tomcat and Tomcat written over here. See, the Tomcat before these two dots is the username, and Tomcat after these two dots is the password. Clear? These are the auth. Auth means credentials. And if I see over here, see, Tomcat and Tomcat are valid credentials. That means I can use these valid credentials. How they are used? See, firstly, we'll need to check on which port it is running. So the port is 8180. So just go to browser. Type the IP address .28, and then I have to go with the particular port. Okay, so always use double dot and the port number after it, and then just press enter. See, I got an Apache Tomcat server over here. So this is an Apache Tomcat server running. Right now, what I found was that Tomcat and Tomcat are valid credentials. So how can I check it? I can only check these credentials only if I'll have a login page. Yeah? So I'll go to Tomcat administration. I got a login page. If I type Tomcat and the same in the password, Tomcat, and if I press login, see, I logged into the server, and just check carefully over here. I am logged in as an admin. Okay, this is an administration tool. Now I can make changes whatever I want. See, there are some users over here. So I can either make a new user or delete a new user or edit an existing user. Yeah, these are the things which I can do. See, I have the user database as well over here. I have the mail sessions, which is nothing, then data sources, right? So I can do whatever I want over here, right? So this was how to check for the auth credentials. Till this point, if anybody have any doubt, you can ask me.
Sir, could you show the command line once more? What command you
Yeah. This was the command, okay? And map hyphen script, because we are using a script, and I named the script name, and then I gave the IP address. Then shall we proceed? Okay, we will. Okay, so the next script which we will be using is a malware script. What it does is, it basically tries and it finds out that whether there is a malware or a backdoor something on that particular target or not. Okay, so I'll just change the script name and I'll name it malware, and just press enter. Let's see what it gets. Okay, see, it has found on port 21, it has found that there is a backdoor which is vulnerable. This is the version of the backdoor which is going on. It is exploitable, that means we can hack into it. Okay, this is the CVE. Okay, what CVE means is, always remember this thing. Okay, you will get these things so many times. Okay, 2011 means that this particular vulnerability was very first discovered in 2011. Okay. Okay, so if I type, after hacking into it, if I type the shell command ID, I will get these results. Okay, so remember them. I will show you how we get these things. So just remember it. Okay, if I go down, see, over here it has also found one more backdoor. Okay, looks like Trojan version of Unreal IRCD. So I will be telling what these things are, but yes, there is a backdoor on our target. Till this point, is everything clear? Okay, let's proceed. Anybody wants to ask anything? Okay. So the third script which we will be using is banner script. What a banner script does is, see, on every service running, there is a particular software on every single port which is running on that port, right? So what banner script does is, it finds out the version of the software that is running behind that particular port. Okay, so I will change it. I type banner and just press enter. Okay, on port 80 we are having this thing running. We have a VSFTPD software running with this particular version. Okay, on SSH port we are having this software version running over there. See, on telnet there is something running, but it is not readable, right? So I will tell you how to exploit this telnet. Exploiting this telnet is very easy. Okay, on SMTP port we are having this thing running behind this port. Okay, and in the same way you can go downwards and you can check by yourself, right? So what it does is, the banner script, it tells us the software version running behind every single port. Okay, till this point, if anybody have any doubt, you can ask me. Everything is clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We will be moving to another script, and it is exploit script. What it does is this is a script tries to exploit each and every port of your target, and it tells you that whether they are exploitable or they are having something to be exploited or not. Okay, see, we already know this, right? We got it way back. Okay, now the SMTP server is not vulnerable, it is same. Okay, but see, on port 80, it has found some possible CSRF vulnerabilities. CSRF stands for cross site request forgery. Okay, it is a kind of web application vulnerability, and I tell you what this is. Okay, after when we will be doing the web exploitation part, see over here, we have these particular URLs are may be vulnerable to CSRF. Okay, these are the paths. So you can exploit it if you know how to do so. Okay, see, it couldn't find any DOM based accesses. So I'll tell you what XSS is. XSS stands for cross site scripting. Okay, then couldn't find any stored XSS vulnerabilities as well. Okay, and we already know this part. Clear? So this is how we can enumerate things via AppMap. See, there are so many scripts over there, and obviously I cannot tell you every single script because there are so many, right? But you can try it or you can study it by your own. Okay. One more script which I will be telling you is vuln script. What vuln script does is it is a vulnerability scanner script. It scans your target and it finds all the possible vulnerabilities in your target. Yeah. So just change it to enter. That's right. It will take a lot of time. Okay, because obviously it is trying to exploit this particular target. Okay, so we'll have to wait a little bit. Okay, it is taking a very lot of time, but still we'll have to wait. .99% done. see, this is what happens, right? This is a machine which is in my particular in my home network, but still it is taking a lot of time. This is what happens when you do nmap on a real actual working website. It takes a lot of time. It takes sometimes hours to complete. All right. And before moving forward, I will be also telling you about a tool which is pre-built in Kali Linux. It is one of the best tools, one of the best free tools to basically find out vulnerabilities. Okay, we'll wait, and until that we will start that particular tool. It is known as Zap, OWASP Zap. Okay, where it is. Okay, Green Web Application Vulnerability Analysis. Web application, yes, OWASP Zap. It can give you a whole lot of vulnerabilities, right, into an actual website. Okay, so we'll wait for it to get started.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
So does this time has to do something with the GPU or the processor?
No. Nothing to do with it. Okay, just start it. See, we have an automated scan, manual explore. Okay, so it demands from some updates. Okay, so you can update it. But what we will be doing is we will be doing an automated scan. Okay, and the scan will be on the Metasploitable only. You can try. You'll have to perform the same thing. You'll have to dig for this particular vulnerabilities into these Pakistani websites. Okay, you'll have to scan those Pakistani websites with OWASP Zap. That is today's task. Okay, so just go with the IP address. I'm telling you how to use it. Okay, see, I have a particular IP address over here, and I have so many directories over here, right? So I will just copy this. In your case, you will have to copy the URL of that particular website. Until that, I will check. Just a second. I'll change the command. And go towards Zap. Over here, just paste your target.
Just
Yeah.
Sir, what will be the result, sir, if you change the command from space to equal to, which you did?
Doesn't matter. I'm just trying different stuffs. Yeah, right. You can do the same thing. Equal, if you want to specify equal to, it might happen sometimes that the speed increases, right? Because I have seen it practically. I don't have a practical genuine explanation of this thing, but I have seen this thing, right? The speed increases generally.
Okay, sir.
168.0.28. Okay, just specify the whole URL over here and just click on attack. See, over here the attack has begun. You can just shape it as you want. I'll just bring it over here. Right, this is a spider. It is scanning the whole website. Then you will go to alerts part. See, over here you will get all the vulnerabilities. Okay. See, these all things are going on. Let it get completed. Until that, we will return to our this part. See, the speed increased, right? Let's wait. So this is how you will use this vulnerability scanner. All right. These are all the errors over here. Okay. Whenever you will click on any of this particular vulnerability, you will find. See, when you will just click over here, you will get all the vulnerable pages, which is into the information disclosure vulnerabilities. right? See, this is a medium level vulnerability on this particular directory it has. Okay, this is the description of that vulnerability, and if you swipe down, you will get the solution of solution as well of this particular vulnerability. And what is the information that is disclosed? Parent directory is disclosed over. All right. Coming back to over here, it will take some time. Okay. Now we will be doing a little bit more enumeration, and that will be with the Nikto. What Nikto is? Nikto is a vulnerability scanner. Okay. What it does is it scans that particular IP address or your target machine, and it gives some of the very important results. Okay, just remember the command nikto -host http and then the IP address. And just press enter. It has begun. Okay, we will go to another tool which is known as DERB. What DERB does is DERB gives us all the hidden directories on this particular target. Okay, DERB and simply http 192.168.0.28. Enter. Now, it will take a little bit more time. Okay. Coming over here, see what it gave us is, let's start over here. The anti-click jacking X-frame option header is not present. That means this website may be vulnerable to click jacking attack. Okay. Okay. XSS header is not defined. That means there might be XSS vulnerability over here. Okay. Now coming over, see it got us the Apache server running with the version. We have got it. If I come more downwards, I'll find, see it has find the directory over here, doc directory. Then I have the doc directory is browsable. Okay, this may be the user doc. Okay. Then this particular thing, what it reveals is PHP reveals potentially sensitive information. Okay. So these are revealing some of the sensitive informations. Clear? See, on this particular page, PHP myadmin changelog.php, we are having a PHP myadmin page. It is managing the MySQL databases. That means there might be something that this particular page might be vulnerable to SQL vulnerability. Okay, I will tell you what SQL vulnerability is. Okay, then see, it found another directory which is test. Okay, phpinfo.php. Okay, then it found some of the more directories over here. So in this way, what it does is it gives you all the information, necessary information on your target. Coming to DERB, see what it gives you is all the hidden directories. Okay, all these are directories in this particular IP address. Okay, for example, if I want to check this particular page or this particular page, what I'll do is I'll just copy it. I will go to my browser. Okay, I'll go to new tab. I'll paste and go. See, I got a PHP myadmin page, right? This may happen that this page might be vulnerable to SQL injection vulnerability. So I will be telling you what SQL injection is. Coming back over here, see I've got another directory over here, copy address. And if I go over here, paste and go, see I've got the index page over here. See, it has found a test directory over here and a wiki directory. Let's check. Copy address. paste and go. See, I've got a test directory over here and I've got something test output. Okay, I have a login file.test over here. Okay, so we'll check what it is in the later part. Another, I found a Twiki directory over here. So I'll just copy it. Let's check what this Twiki directory is. See, I've got so many things. So always remember, these are the practical vulnerabilities that might be found into a real actual working websites as well. Okay, these things comes under the information disclosure vulnerability. You can do these things and you can report these things as well. Okay, what sometimes developer does is developer forget to just protect these particular files. Okay, and these are publicly accessible to anybody. Okay, so you can manually check all these directories. Over here I have another directory, copy, and if I'll go over here, paste and go, see, right? In this way you can go and you can check, see, readme.txt, it should be a private document, but it is it is available publicly. In the same way, we have the license document over here, right, of this particular machine. It is publicly available. Right, then we have the Twiki documentation. See, every single thing is over here. So these stuff should be private, but over here it is publicly available. So this vulnerability actually exists. Okay. Okay, coming back, we have done with the Nycto part. Okay, this particular thing is done. Okay, the nmap command actually worked, and see, it gave us so many directories over here. Right? Let's see what it gives us. That's the reason why it took so much of time. .php possible SQLI. SQLI is, that means SQL injection attack can be done over here. Okay, if I go more downwards, see, on this particular service, on this particular port, there is a vulnerability. What this vulnerability is? It is a remote code execution vulnerability. Okay, I will be telling you what these vulnerabilities are. So it is vulnerable. What it does is it allows loading classes from remote URLs. You can read about these things. This is a reference, so you can read with the reference as well. If I go down, yes, on this particular port, I have a vulnerability, which is again MITM vulnerability. That means man in the middle vulnerability. It is prone to CCS injection. I will be telling what these things are, so don't worry. See, the risk factor is high over here. That means it is a critical vulnerability. If I go down, see, another vulnerability I found, which is Diffie-Hellman key exchange. I yesterday told you what is this key exchange, right? IKE. Okay, DHIKE. So this is a vulnerability. Okay. If I go more down, see, I have an information leak vulnerability over here. It is leaking information. That means information disclosure. Okay, over here I have some of the cookie flags. Okay, that means this again comes under the information disclosure vulnerability. Okay, if I go more downwards, I've got possible admin folders over here. Right? Okay. Then see, it is again vulnerable to DOS attack. Okay, what DOS attack is? DOS stands for denial of service attack. Okay, I will tell you what these attacks are. Right? So in this way, you can dig for vulnerabilities on your target as well. Okay? Till this point, if anybody have any doubt, you can ask me. We discussed about Nikto, we discussed about Derp, and we discussed about some of the scripts on Nmap. So is there any doubt you want to ask me? I'm open for questions now. Tell me. No questions? Everything is clear? Okay, yes, the zap part is left. Huh? Zap. Okay. So it might take a lot of time. Okay. So see, these are the possible vulnerabilities it has take for us. So what you need to do is just make a basic report. Okay, do not wait for it to be completed 100%. You can stop it whenever you want. Okay, these vulnerabilities are enough, I guess. So on your target website, what you will do is you will find some vulnerabilities over here, then click on report. When you click on report, you can generate reports from here. So what I want is the XML report and the this markdown report. Again, listen to me very carefully. XML report and markdown report. You'll have to generate these reports and you'll have to submit this into the Google Classroom. Again, I'm saying XML report and markdown report. Okay? Because what you guys do is after telling so much of time, you message me personally and you tell me, sir, what was the task? Okay? So I have told you the task, what you have to do. Yeah, if you want to ask anything, you can ask me. No questions? Yes, Ankush sir.
Sir, what is the use of hyphen yes you command?
Hyphen?
Yes, you, capital U.
It is not yes you sir, it is SU. Capital U stands for UDP. Okay, it is a UDP scan. Okay, it does a UDP scan. We have a TCP scan and a UDP scan. So capital U stands for UDP. Okay, it is not usually used because it is very time consuming. Okay, it takes a lot of time, and your target can monitor it on the system that you are scanning the system.
So we just have to share these two files.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
But your target should be that Pakistani website. Okay.
Yes, sir. It's already done.
Okay. Yes. Yes. Good. Yes, Atharv sir.
So what is this markdown report?
Okay, markdown report is a report. Okay, you will find it, you will see it what it is. Okay, I'll show you. For example, I'll have to first stop this particular vulnerable thing over here. Okay, now if I go to report, I'll do a markdown report. It is generated. Okay, now for example, I will generate it at where on desktop I want to create it. On desktop it should be, sorry, okay, it should be with the this thing, for example, vulnerable dot something, vulnerable.md. okay, you can go over here. That is not good, no problem. Yes, just save it over there. I'll save it, and if I go onto the desktop, see, this is the markdown report. Okay, I'll show you. Close it. Where is that? See, this is a markdown report. What it gives us, the risk level, number of alerts. So the highest, there is no high level of risk. There are 2 medium level risk, 7 low level risk, and 4 informational. Okay, see over here. It has got us all the alerts, what these alerts were, and now we have the alert details of every single alert. The very first was application error disclosure. Over here, it is a medium level of vulnerability. It has found 175 URLs. So there is a description. Then we have the vulnerable URL over here. If I go down, we'll get all the URLs over here. Okay. Then we have the solution over here. Okay. Then we have X-frame option header not set. This is again a medium level vulnerability. All the URLs are here. And at last, we'll get the solution as well. Okay. So this is a markdown report. Yes, Ankush sir.
Can you explain a CIA triad model?
Yes, I'll explain it, don't worry. But do you want it to be explained right now or tomorrow?
Okay.
Okay, I'll explain it today, don't worry. So CIA is confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Okay. So what this is a triad which your cyber security lies around this particular triad. Okay, whatever you do in this cyber security, it is mostly centric towards the CIA. What CIA is? Confidentiality means that your data should remain confidential. That means it should not be shared with any third party. It should be between you. Just it should be confidential. Okay, it should not be publicly available to other people or to any third party. I stands for integrity. What integrity is? Integrity means that your data should not be tempered by any third party. Right? Whatever you did, the changes in your data, it should remain the same. It should not happen that it is changed when you see your data ever again, then it is changed by any other third party. It should not happen. And availability means that your data should be available whenever you want it. It should be then and there. Okay. For example, if we'll check for example, I'll give you an example of Amazon.in, right? We all do shopping from Amazon website. So what confidentiality stands is that whatever you are shopping from Amazon, it should not be available to any other person. It should remain confidential to you and to the company. No third party should be able to accessible what you are shopping. Okay, what things you are purchasing. Integrity is, for example, you added 2 items into the cart. It should not happen that you logged in again after 1 hour and you found that, okay, there are 3 items added into the cart or 5 items. It should not happen. Okay. And availability is that, for example, I wanted to access Amazon at night, 1 o'clock. That website should be there. Okay. It should not happen that I go at night and it is written on this website that good night, Manal, I'll talk to you tomorrow. It should not happen. Okay. So this is CIA triad. Clear? Okay, yes, Ritu Raj sir.
Sir, what if the IP of attacker is blocked from the server side then?
Okay, the IP of the attacker is blocked. See, it is quite common. Okay, but what you can do is you can use VPNs. Okay, there is always a way. You can use VPNs, you can spoof your IP address, you can change your IP address. Right?
No, sir, I'm asking through Nmap, like there is something I forgot.
No, sir, it should not happen. Generally, it doesn't happen. Use stealth scan. Okay, it should not happen. Okay, just use that hyphen small s and capital S.
So 2 or 3 times I have been blocked, so I am asking that. I've seen some commands regarding this, like we can use some commands, but I'm not getting what it
yeah, you will have to use the stealth command, or else do one thing. you just download the software of Nmap into the Windows. Okay. Once you download your software in Windows, you can use VPN multiple time and you can scan that particular website. Okay, Nmap
Sir,
or Zanmap or
VPN
whatever
is
you
not
want.
working. I have tried proxy chaining also, but that is also
Okay.
not working. Not VPN, not proxy chaining.
Okay, then there might be an error somewhere. Okay, so target any other website. The best part.
Yes. Yeah. And sir, one more. Like we can use I can use Nessus rather than
Yeah,
this.
you can use Nessus. It is okay, but the thing is that I have given the task for OWASP Zap, right? So I want the report on OWASP Zap.
Okay.
Okay. Yes,
Okay, sir.
Rishi sir.
Sir, when will you be telling us how to make a basic penetration report and all that? Because sir, you tell us the command and you tell us this is this. But sir, what to write in the report exactly? I mean, what
Okay,
should be written
today,
and what should not
see,
be written?
I will be telling you how to make a penetration report when I will be telling you how to exploit things. Okay, see, if I tell you today how to how the report is made, it will go up from above your head. Okay, you will not understand what things are, what are payloads, what are these things, how they are used. Okay, how I generated a report, right? So once let us first complete the metasploitable part, how to hack into it with every possible way, and then I will tell you how to make a penetration testing report. Okay, till that point you can make report whatever as you like. Okay, you are free from my side. Okay, so don't worry about it.
Okay, sir.
Yes, anyone else? Okay, Shafali ma'am, have you taken the attendance? Okay, Ankush sir, yes, tell me.
Sir, what is the difference between sniffing and spoofing?
Okay, sniffing and spoofing. The basic difference is, see, when you sniff the IP address of your target. Okay, but when you spoof your own IP address. What sniffing actually means is that, for example, you are doing a man in the middle attack. Okay,
Okay.
now whatever the data should be sent to your target, it is sent to you. Why? Because you have sniffed the IP address of your target. Now the IP address what your target had is now the IP address what you are having. Okay, you have changed your IP address to your target IP address. Okay, now whatever the data should be sent to your target, it is now sent to you. This is sniffing, and spoofing is when you change your IP address to access something. For example, we use VPNs. So we what VPNs do is VPN actually spoof our IP address. They change our IP address. Okay.
If I am using Wireshark, that is called a spoofing attack.
No, if you, I can use Wireshark without sniffing or spoofing. There's no big deal in it. What Wireshark is a network monitoring tool. So you can monitor the network without changing your IP addresses. It doesn't matter at all.
Okay.
Okay, anyone else? Done? Okay. You can leave the meeting. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Sir,
sir.
what will be today's topic?
Today's topic, as I said, it is vulnerability analysis.
Okay, sir.